I got to blow some steam here, okay?
That's a lovely scowl you've got to go along with that steam.
Yeah.
What are we steaming about today?
Fees.
Oh,
There's a new Vector. I don't even know. Vector airport. Vector is you basically land your airplane. They have figured out today that you can land your airplane. They know if you landed, if you came to that airport by ADSB, they're merely using ADSB, figuring out, no, they know who you are, and they're sending you a bill for a landing fee or a user fee or an airport fee or whatever the hell they want to call it fee. I'm pissed. And I'm not the only one.
No, this is a nationwide problem. And it's not actually a new thing that's happening, but just recently it's gotten far more widespread. Vector's been around and using ADSB for billings almost since ADSB has started being installed in aircraft, but you really only saw it at your larger aircraft, Dallas Love.
Well, I'll tell you saw it about 3 or 4 years ago was the first time I ever saw it, and only at Dallas Love and places where they were. I mean, Dallas Love was basically saying, we shut down a runway. We don't want you coming here because we got so many airliners coming here. So they imposed this as a fee to shove people to the outlier airports.
Well, so that's probably a bonus. I don't think that was the actual reason they went to this, though. I think what was happening is FBOs in the past were in charge of collecting landing fees and then submitting them to the cities. And I think the municipalities saw an easier way to capture everybody, even those who were only doing touch and goes, who were taxiing back and leaving, who weren't going into the FBOs for these fees to be collected. Because a lot of what Vector's billing is doing isn't going to the FBOs on the field. It's going to the municipalities that control the fields. It's going to the city and county governments that are collecting these fees directly and are not seeing or interfacing with the pilots at all.
Correct. And it's low-hanging fruit. All it is government entities saying, we saw you land there, we're going to take your money from you. It's nothing more than a tax that provides you nothing.
Right.
It is, and I'm totally and absolutely, and I'm not the only one. We were at the NWOC, National Warbird Operators Conference. And they had somebody brought this up in the general session, and everybody was up in arms against it. This is, I can't think of a single pilot that's going to be like, yeah, I love user fees. I love landing fees. Oh, I love the fact that we accepted ADSB where you can track everything we're doing purely because they said, we're not going to tax you. We're not going to use this for that.
This was a safety initiative that was not going to be used for enforcement purposes, which we're also getting to fight in some instances. And it was not to be used for fees, for taxing, for, tracking in that kind of way. But
here we are. If we do not do something, if we as a pilot group do not do something, what is going to happen is there's going to be just a fanfare, just a fire that scorches everything. It is going to be where every single airport out there is going to say, well, we can't go against it, so we're just going to do it too. And every time you land an airplane, you're going to get a bill. One of the greatest things we have in America right now is we have a system that's you don't have to pay for.
Right. We pay our fees at the pump.
We pay for our fees. That's exactly right. We pay them at the pump with a fuel tax. And when I go fly to a foreign country, matter of fact, I went to Canada. I love Canada. Canada's great. But we flew our Cessna 182 to Canada and came back and got, $180 worth of fees for airway fees, and we were in Canada for maybe 10 minutes. It was a disaster. And and we fly internationally all the time. And I'm telling you, if you want to kill aviation, you want to drive it into the ground, you want to destroy the flight, the gift of flight you've got, the best way to do that is with fees.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's why, people from all over the world come to the United States to do flight training and to get out and explore and fly, because we don't have these fees, and they've so crippled the general aviation community in all the other countries. America has just had it right to foster aviation done right.
That's right. And I'm telling you right now, what ends up happening, it's like Zig Ziglar used to have in his books. He talked about, if you want to kill a frog, how do you kill a frog? And the answer is, if you want to boil the frog, you don't just throw a frog into boiling water. You throw a frog into water that's room temperature, and you slowly ramp up the heat, and eventually the frog won't jump out of the water. It's the same thing right now. Vector, you piece of crap company, you have nothing to do but take people's money, and then you take skimming off the top. You're a piece of crap company out there. We got to do something about this, America. Pilots in America have to stand up against this. There has to be a way, because what's going to happen is we're going to accept this, and all of a sudden we're going to do a little more and a little more, and then pretty soon every single airport in the United States, every single one is going to charge you. There's going to be no limit. It's going to be a money grab, and it will absolutely kill aviation.
It will. And right now, while, there's still a limited number of airports that are utilizing their services, a lot of pilots have formed up groups and gotten the word out. Those airports are out there. They're boycotting those airports. They're not buying fuel there. They're not stopping there. They're not training there. They are just avoiding those airports. And the only way that has an impact is if, you can't avoid them all. So it's got to be nipped now so that everybody doesn't get on board and just kill.
We flew internationally, came back into Laredo Airport. We literally went over went through customs, which was great. It was such a good experience. And then walked down the hall directly to the Vector booth, where they make sure they get all your money, all your data, so they can send you a bill. Oh my gosh, it was Laredo. Do not go to Laredo. Do not go to Dallas Love.
Unless you need to clear customs. Please stop and clear customs.
Yeah. But my point behind the whole thing is any airport that has Vector, I take them out. As far as I'm concerned, this is one where we can all get pissed, and we can all be pissed, and it's just going to grow unless we do something. Contact your senator, contact your legislature, contact AOPA. This ought to be the number one thing on your radar. EAA, number one thing on your radar. This is the thing. This is the deal that's out there. I'm telling you, we'll wake up 5 years from now, and you will not fly unless you're getting a bill.
Right.
That we must do something. We must do something. I don't even know what the right thing to do is right now, but I'm telling you right now, we must do something.
You should tell us how you really feel, Joe.
Sorry. I feel better. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Appreciate it.